Welcome to Kidmissing TV. Excuse me. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the case of the Rahway, New Jersey Jane Doe, found by four brothers named Worth on March 26, 1887. A couple of weeks will be at the anniversary of that case, which will be see, 1987 was 100. It'll be 139 years. Next year will be 140. They were walking to work at the mill, actually. They discovered a body, the body of a young woman on their way to work. She's described as being approximately 25 years old, brown hair, blue eyes, 5'2". She's in green cashmere with green feather trimming and was wearing yellow gloves. Nearby was a basket made of willow with 9 broken eggs, her hat and her cape, and a man's straw hat with a large brown button that was common to men's overcoats at that time was also found. There was a blood-stained jackknife with a tortoiseshell handle that was the murder weapon, about 600 to 800 yards away. Oh no, and something found 600 to 800 yards away was a black valise that had been thrown into the stream, which contained women's clothing and other items. I'm not sure what that word means. They called intimate assault an outrage in the papers, and it didn't appear that robbery, or an outrage as the papers called it, was the motive. She was still wearing 3 rings, and she was kept at the undertaker's for 3 weeks, hoping somebody and the clothing in the valise was too big for the young woman. Okay, well, they have a lot of evidence in this case. Let me go over some of it with you. A scrap of paper with a name written on it in a gaudy blue and red dotted handkerchief that had the name K.M. Nors or Wars or Nuri or Neary embroidered on it. Wonder why I couldn't read embroidery. A nickel-plated combination pen holder and rubber marking stamp, which bore the name in large print, Timothy Byrne, and a hairbrush with the initials TB. Well, they need to talk to Timothy Byrne. Find out why his crap ended up in the stream. Anyway. I'm going to show you a drawing. It's terrible, so there won't be a poster, but here's the drawing. And none of you will recognize her, but I wanted to show it to you anyway. and she was killed the day before, or approximately March 24th or 25th. Again, she was 18 to 22 years old, so they've kind of this sketch of her appeared in the newspaper. April 1887 edition of the National Police Gazette. And this appeared in the newspaper. Pause and read it if you like. It's an ad. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't have any phone numbers in this case, because this case is well over 100 years old. But it could do some genetic genealogy, and certainly, who was Timothy Byrne? Byrne? Yeah. I mean, did they talk to him? She's buried in the railway cemetery under a stone that simply reads, "An unknown woman found dead, March 25th, 1887. Wow. Yeah. Like I said, there is no phone number in this case because who would be investigating a 140-year-old case, unfortunately? So, but this teenager to young adult deserves to have her name back, and there's not going to be justice. The case is 140 years old, but if you could do some genetic genealogy and get her name back, that would be something. Then we'd know if Timothy Byrne had any connection, because maybe he was related to her. I gotta find out what a valice is while I'm thinking of it, guys. Valise. I'm guessing it's a bag. Oops, what did I hit? A small suitcase or traveling bag for hand carrying, for overnight or carry-on luggage. Like a carry-on bag. So that answers that. Kind of figured it had to be some kind of bag. Like I said, no poster for this one. I showed you the pictures, and like I said, there's no point in making a poster for a case 140 years old. All we're trying to do at this point is raise interest and awareness so that DNA Doe Project or one of the other companies takes up the case and we find out. So that's the goal of this video. That's why I do these old cases that seem unsolvable, and this will of course go in my historic cases playlist. because I believe that DNA evidence and things like that can at least get their names back. We're not looking for a killer at this point. It's been 140 years. He's long had to answer for what he did. And I'm assuming it was a he. Especially back then, it had to be a he. I don't know her exact cause of death. I believe she was beaten. But thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to that 750 mark. Although we have a long way to go, I believe we can do it by the 4th of July. Bye, guys. God bless you.